Hi guys, and welcome to episode 43 of the M&T podcast. This week is all about Matthew Charles Bennett and his birthday. Happy birthday!
Thank you, and thank you for everybody who has already sent a message. I feel very, what's the word? Loved.
Yes.
I feel appreciated today.
This week we talk
nice.
all things...
On your birthday.
Alright, stop.
Getting old.
Sit down and shut up. So this week we obviously talk all things Matt. There are a lot of questions directed towards him, and sorry this is a little bit later than usual, but he's allowed a birthday hangover. So if you don't like it, unsubscribe.
Yeah, you know what to do.
Fuck off. And we will
see you
in the episode. Happy birthday!
Thank you so much.
Welcome to your birthday pod. Not very different to a usual pod, apart from it's your birthday.
It just happens to have landed on my birthday. What's this, episode 43?
40-something.
It's definitely, well,
that's your age.
Fuck off. We'll know by the intro what episode it is. I think it's 43.
Yeah, we've already told you.
This morning, I've been on a scavenger hunt.
Yeah.
It's funny because...
Shall we open the wine first?
Yeah, you open the wine.
You say how's your birthday
I'll
gone
discuss
so
this
far?
morning. It is Easter Sunday, so happy Easter to everybody listening. I hope you had a good one. A lot of people have been messaging about sort of Easter egg hunts and things that people do on Sunday mornings. You made me a little scavenger hunt.
It's just Sunday mornings, Easter egg hunts.
My hunt was for miniature bottles of alcohol scattered around the house and garden, which was fun. But we vlogged it, so by the time this is out, people may have already seen the video as well, which was pretty cool. You made me little poems.
I wrote them all myself. I didn't even, sometimes with the Christmas ones, you can find good hints, good ones online on Pinterest.
Do you cheat?
No, it's just ideas, but I wrote these all from scratch.
Oh, well done. Tiffany Bennett, professional writer, wrote a poem.
Not professional
and has
corker.
You've corked the wine.
Oh, no.
You fucking idiot.
Oh, no.
Do you know what? Because you insist on using that stupid bottle opener that bends the cork.
Bullshit. It was just, I didn't pull it out straight.
Birthday ruined.
No, it's not. But that cork won't be going in our new cork jar.
No, it won't. Want to thank my mum and dad. This is a bottle of wine from there. I hope we're able to drink it and it's not destroyed.
If not, we're going to have to get the other one out.
Tiff is struggling somewhat to get the second half of the cork out. But they bought us this bottle from a local deli, which we went and picked up. They made us a little package of... Oh,
I have royally fucked this up.
Thank God for that.
This is Ostatu Rosado from 2018. Good year.
Was a good year.
It's a Rioja Tempranillo Grenache. That's a few grapes in there. Got it all going on.
Right, can we pour it?
Yeah, sure thing.
This morning I did that. I've had a yerbas already. I've also had... Lovely stuff. I've also had an amaretto while I watched the video message that, lots and lots of people sent a little message through to say happy birthday, which was very kind of them, and I very much enjoyed it, so thank you very much.
Happy birthday.
Cheers. Happy birthday. Happy Easter.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. How's the wine?
Nice.
Yeah, you happy with that?
Yeah.
It's a good colour.
I'll take the bottle. A little bit of cork in it. No, it's not.
It's not.
I managed to get the cork out.
You did split the cork in half, but the wine survived. Good.
So sorry.
Well, this episode, Tifla, I just said to you before we went on air, I've got nothing for it because we said last week you host this.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a standard. There's nothing special. There's no surprises. I've just got questions for you and stuff, but we can start as normal. How's my week been?
I think it's been a good week. We do say...
Tell me why.
Ain't nothing but a bird and bee. We say it every week, but you particularly, but both of us are heavily influenced by weather. And this week has been glorious in Ibiza.
Yeah, apart from today. I really wanted to film the pod outside today, but it's cloudy and actually drizzly.
It has. It's been drizzling
It's
this
not
morning.
a horrible drizzle though.
No,
It's not even on the verge of like wet rain.
No.
It's just drizzle.
Just a bit
I
grey.
wouldn't even protect my hair in this weather.
No, wouldn't bother.
I'd
Wouldn't
be okay
even
with it.
wouldn't take a brolly.
No. Well, I am debating taking it probably out later. But anyway, this week has been, solar powered heaven.
Lovely. Like you've done at least one full day of work sat in the garden. Like
Yeah,
you just
Friday.
worked from the garden, and it was really nice. And because it's the Easter holidays, the Friday that you worked outside the whole time, like it's peaceful and quiet as well. There's no work going on anywhere. There's no passing traffic. It's just quiet.
Delightful.
And it was lovely. And I went for a walk on Friday and I really enjoyed that. And we've both caught the sun a little. We talked a lot yesterday about getting a bit of a base tan.
Yes.
Starting the pre-tan game before summer comes in.
Because then all of our friends and family that come visit will look tanned.
Yeah. Well, we said yesterday, it means when you can sort of rely on that good weather that we've had more regularly, which we are able to now, we can sort of, like I say, build a bit of a base layer of tan, and it means you don't have to rush. So you don't get a day where you go, or a week of good weather and you go, I'm going to go out and just toast myself.
Yeah. The next 2 days look fucking glorious as well.
Well, then we'll be back out. It's literally only going to be shit for today, for my birthday, but that's because...
And mine on Wednesday.
And then shit for yours.
Yeah.
That's Jesus's way of saying, it's not about you guys. Remember, it's actually about me and the sacrifice I made.
Sorry, Jesus, I'll eat some chocolate in your honour.
Yeah, absolutely. And drink some more wine.
Yeah, because he turned water into rosé.
Yeah, not into... I'm pretty sure that's what it says in the Bible, isn't it?
It turned into a light blush.
God, if only. I wish I could turn water into rosé.
Yeah.
So I think you've had a good week. You've worked really, really hard. I think you've had some very productive days, but you do that anyway, but you're taking next week off. Well, from as of now, generally you're taking the week off.
Yes.
You're putting a little bit of an out of office on, but
I started answering an email this morning, then I stopped.
Well done.
But that's the level of because that's what I do. I do things straight away. With a lot of work, I do things straight away.
And
I don't like to leave
the problem you're going to have with that, and that's a good thing to have. You're a very proactive worker. But I think when you're working for yourself, and therefore your work emails are just on your phone, which you're looking at regularly anyway, whether you're working or not. That sort of I'm just going to start responding to this can end up getting you down a rabbit hole, and then before you know it, an hour of work has gone, 2 hours of work has gone.
Maybe what I should do this week is turn my Gmail notifications off.
Yeah.
And and then if I want to sit and do a couple of hours,
I think that's good.
Only do it on the laptop.
Yeah. I think that's a good idea, because if you want to take the week off, that was the plan. It's our birthday week. But it does mean, because we sort of said, it's not going to be a crazy full-on week. We're not really doing a whole lot.
No.
But having that time off is good. It does mean that if you want to go and check emails and have a look at something, that you can, but your phone's not going to be telling you to look at it.
No, I can literally delete the Gmail app for a week.
Yeah, and I think that's a good idea.
Do that for a bit. My sister did that with socials. She literally, instead of just logging out, she just deleted the app or turning off the notifications, because you can still tap on it if you're curious. Because I would probably do that.
I think probably about a year or so ago, or at least one time where I completely restored or reset my phone and had to sort of start from scratch, which I like to do every now and again, is... every single app that you get, the first time you ever set it up, it sort of goes, do you want notifications on? Do you want location services on?
Nope.
And I think previously, and I think a lot of people do, you just go, yes, because you just want to get the app working, is I, by default, have all of my apps don't send me notifications unless I go, actually, I'd like that one too. And then I go and change the setting again later.
Yeah.
So that basically... Because we used to say this about our Apple Watches and why we stopped using Apple Watches is I don't want to be constantly notified about things.
Yeah.
Like I like looking at things, and in certain apps I do have those on. But it feels a bit liberating when actually you go, if I want to see it, I can. I just tap on the app and I can go and look at things. But every app is desperate for your attention, and so they will have notifications going off all the time. And that gets a bit overwhelming sometimes. So
yeah, and
it's
also
kind of
like
nice to just switch that off.
I have all of my Instagram notifications on for all of my clients.
Yeah, so your phone is never stopping telling you that you should be looking at Instagram.
No, like
it never stops.
Both phones.
Yeah, but that's your job.
I know.
But it does mean that when you're taking a week off your
off.
job, you should switch them off.
Yeah, and I think I've told people that, like, especially today, and then especially Wednesday and Thursday. Because obviously Dubai weekend is Friday, Saturday anyway.
Yeah.
I've just gone, I'm not checking like your messages.
Yeah.
Because I obviously have all the messages on and stuff. So it's like, I'm not checking your messages. I'm not doing this. And yeah, so it's my little time off. So I think I will delete the Gmail app. I think that's a good idea. And then I will probably sit down for a couple of hours and just check that everything's okay and people are scheduled and nothing's gone wrong. Because people are like, all of the posts are still scheduled in. But I will limit it, and especially if the next 2 days are lovely, I'd love to sit on the beach all afternoon.
Yeah, and not look at
and not
things.
worry. Yeah,
I think sometimes what we have to do, and this goes for anyone, to properly have that downtime is to almost you got to act like people did 15, 20 years ago.
Yeah,
when you were on holiday from work. If an emergency happened, actually, odds are nobody could get hold of you, and nothing terrible.
Remember that time?
Well, but the thing is there is no reason why in the world today you can't be the same.
Do you know what it is though? It's because everyone has laptops and not desktop computers that they have at work, and everyone is so accessible. And it's just
very practical, but it means you're never unconnected. So it actually does mean in this day and age. You have to consciously unconnect yourself more.
Remember when we went to the Maldives and didn't take our phones?
Yeah.
And remember what happened, the first thing that happened?
The first thing that happened was we booked an Uber to the airport. So yeah, we did. We went to the Maldives, this is a couple of years ago, and we went for 5 days, 7 days?
5 days, this was a shorter one.
5 days. Probably worked out about 6 days when you include all the travel and stuff. And we didn't take phones with us.
Yeah.
Like that.
We took a phone without a SIM card.
We took a phone without a SIM card.
Photos.
To take photos and because it was the remote for the drone and things like that.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah.
So technically, if we needed to, we could have got onto Wi-Fi and down, but we didn't.
Yeah,
we were unconnected for 5-6 days. And the difficulty we had was that the first thing we needed to do was get from our apartment to the airport. So we booked an Uber.
And then left.
And I literally pressed, okay, get the car. I remembered the number plate and then threw the phone on the sofa and we went outside. And then you're in that kind of weird position of, well, what if that Uber cancels on me? Or what if it's late? What if it gets changed to a different driver?
Yeah.
What if they don't?
We were stood
and so you're outside going, well,
like mugs.
I've booked my Uber, but I can't check my Uber. I can't track my Uber. What do you do? And then you get to an airport where, I mean, you get on fine without a phone, but I mean, technically these days,
you could have your QR
code
and stuff.
But do you know what? We loved that. 5 days.
That was
we
real
loved it.
Cleansing.
It felt uncomfortable, probably for a day, and then you very quickly get used to not looking at things.
It's just that downtime scrolling, isn't it?
Yeah.
And actually,
so what do you do when there's 10 minutes of nothing to do?
In the Maldives?
Yeah.
But then, you actually, if I was sat outside, we obviously had they're all kind of private villas, aren't they? Had the little room thing, and actually, we talked more.
Yeah.
You sit there and look at things, or you go for a walk, and then that's the time you see a big stingray or a turtle, and you're just like, this downtime might have been spent scrolling.
Yeah.
So I think when I do switch off, I think I am better at it now.
Yeah.
Switching off. It does just take preparation.
It does, yeah.
A lot of preparation. Because when you've got all of these clients, and actually I've got new business this week.
Yeah.
So I've got Zoom calls on Monday and Tuesday, but hopefully that's not going to put too much of an impact on. But kind of knowing that I have less work this week because I've prepped for it means that I I'm not too stressed about having this new work plus all of my other work, because I've already prepared for that other work. So yeah, it's been a good and busy week.
It has. It's short, good and busy week, but that's because you're preparing for next week, which should be a really good week of switching off a little bit and having actually a little bit of a holiday.
Yeah, and also this week, this actually really shows something, because obviously 2 weeks ago we had a really bad week.
Yeah.
Like I kept getting upset, this, that, and the other. And this week my car broke again, and it didn't tip me. Like if it had happened 2 weeks ago, that would have just tipped me over the edge, and I would have just gone. I would have spiraled. Yeah. But this week it broke again, and I'm just like, they've closed for Easter. Like actually just laughed it off, and so. It's just so different how like a negative thing can happen. Yeah. But depending on everything else that's happened that week, how you react to it.
I think it really shows that there's no set rule of what situations can make you have a good week or a bad week. It's such an infinite amount of variables and situations that add things up. Because you're right, not everything's been perfect this week. No. The car's broken down again at a time where it can't be fixed. And yeah, 2 weeks ago, that would have been give me a fucking break, universe. I just give up and I just want to get rid of this car and get off this stupid, shitty little island where nothing works. Yeah. But yeah, you've done really well this week to go, car's fucked. But I've got a hire car, which is lovely. Yeah. And we'll get it sorted when we get it sorted.
Our hire car is brand new.
It had 31 kilometres on the clock.
Yeah, I know. Now it makes me want a new car.
Yeah.
So if there's any car sponsors out there, the M&T podcast, sponsored by Kia.
So at the moment, we're still working on being sponsored to go to the Maldives. Yeah. And we'd also like a new car. So... Come on, guys. Let's do it. Just share the pod. Someone will hear it and go, I want to give them a car. We could put our faces on like vinyls and M&T on the bonnet, and we'd just drive around.
Can it be like a Tiffany blue car?
If you wanted that colour, love.
Yeah. Gym's been good this week for both of us as well. Like you've had a really good week. You've built a deck.
I've built a deck in the garden.
You're such a man about the house. Well, not man about town. Hold on, man of the house. What? There's a few things I've merged together there.
Yeah, everyone knows what you mean.
Man about the house.
Yes, I used a drill and a hammer,
and a saw,
and
a measuring tape.
I've used screws and nails, and yeah, we now have a deck in the garden, which is like a nice little sun
Chill
spot.
Out lounge.
There's a mattress on it that's got a nice...
Cafe del M&T.
It's got a nice sort of boat standard waterproof cover on it.
Oh, I was like...
Well, I was talking about the mattress. You were talking about some cafe.
Cafe del Mar. Cafe
Smashing. Del M&T. Yeah. Yeah, I get it. It's clever. I see what you did. So yeah, been quite practical. Been a good week, yeah.
It has.
And now it's ending on my birthday.
Yep. And then that means next week's my birthday.
It is. Are you looking forward to your birthday?
Yeah.
I'm going to put it out there now that I would like people this week, following this pod, to start sending me things for you. So questions for Tiff.
So next week's about me.
Stories about Tiff. We are on location next week. So if there's things that you specifically want to ask Tiff or have her share, or a story that you just want to send to me and I'll share it on your behalf, you can remain anonymous if you wish. Then send them through this week, because next week's pod is Tiff's birthday.
It's all about me.
It's all about you.
Lovely.
Yes.
So yeah, that's how the week's been. Just want the weather to get better. I'll be happy, because I'm looking out the window and it is kind of wet raining now.
Stop looking out there. I'm looking out that window.
I'm just not happy with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've got some questions and bits and pieces. I don't think this is going to be a huge pod, but obviously I had the video made for you.
You did.
This morning, which was nearly 13 minutes of friends and family saying happy birthday.
Yes. Which was really cool. I loved that. I actually didn't think I knew that many people.
There's a lot of people in the video.
Let alone that amount of people that would give a shit to send a video. So thank you to them.
That's stressful, you know. Because what I did, I sent a message out on I think Sunday or Monday, and I was like, deadline Wednesday. Because
I love that you give people
that gives me a chance to put it together.
Yes. Nobody's going to stick to that
Turns
kind of
out
deadline.
that people did. Some people did. Some people did very well. Some other people, however, John McGovern, did not do so well, but wasn't the latest, wasn't the slowest. But yeah, it's rough putting it together. It took some time. I literally exported it this morning when you were supposed to be sleeping, but you woke up really early.
Yeah.
Which was a pain.
The plan was to have a lay-in this morning, and you were going to use that to sort of put little things together for me. And yeah, I woke up at 5:30 this morning and was like, that's it, I'm awake.
Yep, that was fun.
I'd love to say that was sort of like the birthday excitement, but I really just don't think it was. I just woke up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, fun times.
So I've got some questions, and we can stay on the birthday theme for now. And this is from Diane Brooks. What is yours and mine most memorable birthday so far, and why?
I think we have discussed it before, but mine is my 30th, because
all those years, it was 84
so
years
long.
ago.
84 years. No, my 30th, because it was in Dubai, and you had organised my family to be there as well, and they came over to Dubai without me knowing, and were there and surprised me, and we had brunch, and then we had a good few days with them and stuff. So my 30th was very cool.
I'm trying to remember.
What about you? What's your
I'm trying to remember,
most memorable birthday, or non-memorable for the right reasons? You ever done something epic on a birthday?
I don't know, but I used to do that. Oh yeah, I went to Vegas.
Fuck me. There she is. Like, people are listening going, oh, what a sad life she must have had. She can't even think of a good birthday. Oh, there was that one time where I went to Vegas for my birthday.
Yeah,
Tell us about that.
So I used to, actually from like 18 to 22, I used to make a really fucking big deal out of my birthday. So I used to either get groups of people together to go on holidays. So we did Salou in like mainland Spain.
Yeah.
We went to, I think we did Centre Parks. Yeah, we did. We did
I love
Sherwood Centre Parks. And
I'd love to do Centre Parks for my birthday.
Yeah, it's fun. And we did Vegas. And Vegas was so much fun. Oh god, yeah, that was kind of memorable and not forgettable, but unmemorable.
It was memorable, but you don't remember a lot of it.
Yeah, and then like in the UK, I used to do like hire out like areas of a nightclub and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, and
be
like
a bit knobby.
just get a big bus of people and we all go together.
See, it's a little bit of a disappointment this year that we can't do that. It's our first birthdays in Ibiza.
Yeah. Next year.
And it is a little, because aside from today, our birthdays do land at a time when the weather actually gets really good here.
And everything starts to open again.
Yeah, and on a normal year, there's a good chance that we probably could have booked in for something really cool. And there's a chance also, because it's around like Easter holidays and things, that that people might have been able to come over. We could have been epic. So
I think
watch this space for next year.
If anyone's up for pre-booking birthday week next year, I think you need to get in there early to stay at M&T B&B.
If you want to stay at the Casa.
Then I'm just scrolling through to April to see what the dates are. So your birthday will be the Monday and mine will be the Thursday. So it's a whole week.
So that week
of celebration
may be worth friends and family who are listening.
Look ahead.
If you're thinking, oh, that's not a bad idea, that could be.
I don't know when the Easter holidays land next year. I don't know when Easter is, because I feel like Easter's a made-up week, because it can vary.
It always moves.
So much.
For some reason, Jesus always dies on a Friday. Oh, he only died once, but...
But always a Friday.
But every year lands on a Friday. It's almost like they've made it up.
Yeah.
Moving on.
What? Another one?
So Vegas.
Yeah, so much fun. And
so mine was Dubai, yours is Vegas.
There was a UFC fight as well, and we went to it. We didn't go to the fight because it was like super expensive and sold out. But we went to this bar in the Venetian, and it was like this American bar, and basically we paid $40 for all you can drink. It was probably Bud fucking Light or something to watch it. But then we just tipped the waitress really well.
Tip your waitresses.
And we absolutely smashed that. And then we went to see Tiesto that night at Hakkasan. And firstly, my boyfriend at the time asked me if Tiesto was on and he was playing. That's why he's an ex. And then
what asked is Tiesto?
Like, when's Tiesto coming on?
And it was Tiesto.
He was already playing.
Don't blame you.
And
no wonder
another guy had passed out before we got ready to go to the club.
Classic.
So there's pictures of him on his bathroom floor, absolutely dying. And that's George, writer George. So yeah, that was funny.
So yeah, you have had an epic birthday.
Yeah, I've done good birthdays because it was always Tiffy's big 2-0, Tiffy's big 2-1, like 20, 21, 22.
Yeah, I get it. Clever.
Now it's Tiffy's big 3-1.
Well, watch this
Your
space.
mid-30s.
I say our birthday week 2022 is going to be everything because it'll be in Ibiza.
Yeah. Wasn't this weekend supposed to be that big Pike's Pie over 3 days?
Yeah, I think. No.
I thought it was April.
It is April, or was supposed to be April, but it wasn't this. Because if it was this, I would definitely remember, because I'd be like, shit, that's my birthday. I might die.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely. Anyway, yeah, good question. Another one from Diane, though. What would be your perfect birthday present?
Good
or
question.
have you received one that's just been, like, perfect?
Good question. I'm kind of funny with gifts in that I don't know, maybe it shows my age, but I don't really expect gifts.
We're not giving people. That sounds bad. We don't do gifts for each other most of the time.
No,
do we?
No, because we're not. I don't think we're massively materialistic, and like it's not how we show love and affection for each other by going, I've bought you this incredible thing.
Well, we've done the love languages test and neither of them are giving.
So although I love giving you gifts and I like receiving them, like I'm not big on presents. I'm not like one of those where like I can't remember the last birthday where I unwrapped something.
Apart from I literally gave you a present.
We
do token gifts, I think.
Yeah. So today, like, yeah, you made me a little scavenger hunt, and like the fact that you put effort into doing something like that is actually, I'm like, oh, that's really sweet and that's really nice. And the video that's been put together costs nothing, but probably means more to me. And then you've got me a nice decanter, and you know, that's a lovely thing to have, but I'm not like, it's a present.
Lots of people you see that they get like a pile of 10 presents and it's like lots. And I think we've said this before, and actually with Christmas more than birthdays, is that normally we haven't done Christmas presents because we've been going on holiday or doing something else. But this year we did because we wanted to be different to previous years.
Yeah.
But with birthdays and stuff, like I'd rather not spend the money on a gift and probably go out for a nice meal or like that. What I did today with the scavenger hunt and whatever, like it didn't cost a lot. Yeah. But it was something to do and something to like enjoy, and it's a bit more fun than just opening a couple of boxes. Yeah.
I mean, obviously, as a kid, I loved nothing more than like whether it's those typical years where it's like you got a new bike or. I do remember.
Really
I don't know
badly
whether
wrapped.
But that's what they were amazing. But yeah, definitely, probably since I've become an adult, like presents.
Last week.
Yeah. Well, have I become an adult yet? Yeah. Like a gift for me is, and this sounds corny as hell, but it's having a good time, spending time with people I like.
The gift
of
life.
Like today, you and me, we're going out. We're going to go have a nice afternoon. We're seeing some friends. That to me is nice and enough for me.
Nice. But you're also getting a tattoo.
That's sort of like a gift to myself. I'm going to get a tattoo next week.
And your parents and grandparents sent money, so you're going to buy a water
sent
butt.
Money, and that's and thank you very much, family, for that. That's already funded a lot of the deck that we've built and stuff that's going to go in the garden. That's going to make summer really lovely as well. So,
nice.
It's things that they probably mean more than just buying something just for the sake of buying something.
Yeah, true. I like that. Okay, cool. I didn't write down the name on this one, but If you could celebrate your birthday with one person who shares the same date with you, who would that
be? Do you know what? I only think I know one person whose birthday is the same as mine, and that is Chloe Rake, who is a friend of ours and a friend of the pod.
A friend of the pod.
And she, this morning, if anything, I was more excited.
We were more waiting for her, yeah.
I was more excited about the gift that she was getting for her birthday today than anything for me. She received from Katie Crooks, who is a friend of the pod, and name bearer of Crooker's Corner, aka the deck on the front of the house.
Yeah.
Crookers has bought Chloe flights to Ibiza later this year.
Yeah.
And they're going to come and stay with us.
Then follow-up question. How excited are you out of 10 for Katie and Chloe's visit? That's from Katie.
Of course it is. Really excited. We love it when guests come. And well, we haven't really had any, but we like hosting. We talk about this quite a lot. And it's going to be really cool to have some friends come over.
Well, we talked about hosting last week and the stresses of it. But actually, this week we're just on the
excitement
of it.
It's not this. Well, to go back to last week.
Yeah,
hosting is definitely a positive thing. It's not a negative thing. But we talk about how the ups and downs of it.
Yes.
And so, there is no doubt, absolutely, we're going to have a great time. After they've left, we will probably question life and be like, oh God, we don't need any more guests again for a while. But that's what happens, because you have the highs of having people coming and spending time with you, and we like to help people enjoy their holiday and spending time with us, and our house is your house. So you can just do what you want in here. But yeah, when they leave, we will definitely question humanity, life, and whether or not we ever want people to come again. But that's just a sign of how good that week will be.
Absolutely.
So yes, very excited. I share a birthday date with Chloe, and I was more excited about her present today than anything for me, because she got that
gift.
You
do share your birthday with somebody else.
Do I?
Very important.
Jesus? Oh no, that's Christmas.
Robert Downey Jr.
Do I?
Yes, we say this every year.
Do we?
April 4th, 1965, same year.
So your favourite human shares a birthday with me.
Yeah. So it is Robert Downey Jr.
Well, there you go.
And I've got him here today.
Oh. Do you know what? I know he's your favourite human, but I would lose my mind.
I would lose my shit.
There's no way you would be this cool.
No, I'd have been weird all morning. You'd be like, what's happening? What's going on? Even if he was
you're hiding Robert Downey Jr. somewhere in the house.
Even if he was coming on Zoom or something, I would freak. I would just be like...
Yeah, there's no way you would be this cool.
I did, I wouldn't be able to open the wine, though I couldn't anyway.
Can you imagine if you had a guest of that level on the pod and you fucked up the wine like you did just now?
That's not...
Can you imagine, how would you feel?
I don't like it.
Would you not just go, I'm sorry, but we can't do this?
I'm just going to go kill myself.
Yeah,
Bye.
Sorry. I failed to open a bottle of wine.
I'd get a screw top that week.
I'd have it pre-opened. Maybe that's something you need to consider.
Or do champagne instead. Actually, no, I get scared about
you're
opening
shit at
champagne.
Opening champagne.
It's just because I get scared of popping a cork. But if we're outside, I can just boink.
It's maybe something worth considering if we ever get a high-level guest. Not to say that any of our previous guests haven't been high level.
Yeah.
But if we got a VIP guest, you might want to make sure that you've got these things ready.
An actual celebrity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like make sure your equipment's working.
Yeah. Or a pre-sound test,
Pre-sound test and pre-opened bottle, because that would just be awkward. Oh, well, I'm glad that I share my birthday with two other legends.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, random from... Melissa, were you about to say something?
No, I seem to remember there is a listener that we have. I think it's a guy called Matt who watches us on YouTube, who left a comment last week to say he shares a birthday with me as well.
Yes, there is another birthday.
So, Matt, whoever you are, I can't remember your surname, but I know that it's your birthday today as well. So
and your name's
birthday.
Matt.
Yeah.
So happy birthday. Melissa on Insta has said, Have you got a drink that you drank too much of once, and now the thought of it just makes you ill?
Yes.
Doesn't everybody?
I think everybody does.
They've got
and
to.
I would like people to send that to us as a comment.
That's a great idea, yeah.
So So this week's emoji is the vomit face.
That's what she sent me.
Followed by whatever that drink is that you cannot drink anymore. That everybody needs to send that to us. Mine is Malibu. And actually, it goes all the way back to the first time I ever got blind drunk. And so it's a long-standing, cannot touch the stuff. I can't even smell the stuff without wanting to gag. I think it's fairly disgusting anyway, Malibu.
Yeah, but you actually do drink a pina colada now.
In the Maldives, I had one or two.
At Pikes.
Do I? I do.
You have a Pikes colada or whatever they're called.
Does that have Malibu in it?
Isn't that what pina colada's made of?
Is there not a difference?
Am I wrong?
I think that. Well, no, I think you're right, but I think there is a difference between having Malibu or having rum and pineapple and coconut flavours.
No, it's not. It's just coconut cream, rum, and pineapple juice.
See, that's different.
Sorry.
It might have that sort of similar taste and stuff, but there's just something about Malibu, specifically Malibu. I cannot touch it. I drank it once as a teenager, had way too much of it because I didn't realise
How much did you have?
I drank a bottle of it.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid and I was like, oh, this is alcohol.
Where did you get it from?
I got it from one of the sort of local corner shops in my neighbourhood where I could get served as a kid. I don't think that doesn't happen these days, does it? Like 15, 16...
I bet it does.
16-year-olds walk into shops and buy alcohol?
What happened to you down the shop once? Here?
Oh, there was a kid that was asking people to buy beer for him.
What did you do?
I bought him a beer.
I remember when I was younger, like you found the corner shops, like a Londis.
Yeah.
That would serve you.
Yeah. And there was one that just sort of would serve me and my mates and stuff, and I think we basically would just pick up because we didn't know you're in your infancy of drinking.
I bet they were laughing at you as well.
Probably.
Malibu.
Yeah. And that's what I drank because it is one of those spirits that's strong but doesn't taste strong. And yeah, in my absolute naivety of not knowing what the hell I was doing, I just drank it, just kept drinking it. And obviously I was blind drunk and very, very sick. And my mother had to be called and she came and picked me up from my friend's house.
Oh, no fucking way.
Which I think adds to the trauma.
That does.
Like the whole memory of it.
So you were drinking at your friend's house?
No, we were drinking in the street.
Oh, yeah.
But I had a very good friend who was like, you can't be outside anymore. And so he was like, you just come in my house. And I think we were just sort of sitting in his room, like...
And it was spinning.
And I was sick in his house.
Oh, no.
And my mum was called to come and pick me up. So that was a long, long time ago, and I still can't touch the stuff.
Can't touch it. So mine is Bacardi.
White Bacardi.
White Bacardi. And I can drink a mojito now, so I'm okay. But I don't have like a Bacardi and Coke. Oh, God, no.
That's old school, isn't it? I think that's early 2000s kind of. Everyone was on the Bacardi and Coke vibe. This
is what my mum's partner used to drink, Bacardi and Coke, all the time. So there's always like multiple bottles of Bacardi in the house, in the little drinks cabinet.
Yeah.
And so on a weekend... our friends used to just like get together and hang out. There was a place called The Square
nice.
In Brandon, or you just went into like the forest because obviously we lived in the forest.
That was good. I think that would have been good for for kids.
We went camping.
Oh, you'd
which
go out
wasn't
for the
really
night.
camping.
No, it was drinking.
It was drinking in the forest because no one had a fucking tent. Like, so you're just drinking in the forest all night. So I drank. I stole this bottle of Bacardi out of his name was Sean, like out of the cabinet, and I took it.
It's almost better to steal the whole bottle than to pour part of it away, isn't it?
Yeah, fuck that. Just take the
bottle. Because if the whole bottle's almost just so ballsy there that no one's going to go, pretty sure I had a bottle of Bacardi here. But if
it's half a bottle, like it's full, or you've drank some.
There's no way I've
Yeah, so I stole the whole
bottle.
Took that.
I love that. Go all in.
Took that into the forest. I don't think I had a mixer, so I was just drinking it.
Oh gosh.
And I think this is why I hated getting drunk as a young 20s like late teens, because I drank all of this Bacardi, like 3/4 of the bottle, and my eyes were like, I could not see.
It's awful, isn't it?
I could not see.
And
so
like we enjoy drinking, and we you know, we're in Ibiza, so we drink quite a lot and we drink regularly and stuff, not dangerously so, but like we don't get anywhere near that because it's just not nice. It's not pleasant.
Nice.
I
don't want people falling. I don't like falling about.
No,
I don't like
when you lose,
because I'm so responsible in normal life.
I
don't like being messy drunk.
You would hate to be the one who needs to be looked after.
Oh God, no. Oh my God, because I hate looking after people, so I don't want to be that person.
No.
I would just rather slow myself down.
But it is funny that.
So yeah, I stole Bacardi as my drink.
Stop doing that, and like it's just because it's just not.
But I'll
fun.
smash a mojito.
Oh yeah,
no.
And I've got mint in the garden now.
No. Okay, can we get a white rum that isn't Bacardi though?
Oh yeah, we'll get like a Captain Morgan's.
Do they do a white rum?
Yeah, pretty sure they do.
Lovely. That was a good question. So yeah, everyone leave us the sick face emoji, and also with that drink you cannot drink anymore. I love that. That's such a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be good to hear.
Everyone's got a story.
More good stories, and we'll read a couple out next week. I think that would be really
We'll
good.
share the best ones.
Yeah.
Again, if you want them anonymously,
us,
you can just tell us to keep them anonymous.
Yeah, send us a story.
But let's share some people's drunk stories.
Yeah, brilliant. Melissa also asked, best match you've ever been to?
Football match, I guess.
It just says match.
Is this the Brighton fan again?
I don't know. Melissa on Insta.
Somebody regularly
Melissa
talks to me
100,
about Brighton, don't they? Best match I ever went to. Do you know what? And I'm not saying this just because you're here. The first game I ever took you to.
That was a strong game.
Wolves won 5-0, and it was just like party time.
And you were like, "This doesn't happen."
I had to keep on saying to you, like, please don't get used to this. This is not normal.
Funny.
Wolves don't do this. But that was a good. Just the match on its own was great, but the day as a whole, I think, because it's the first time I took you to the match, and we had beers in the morning, and then we got on the train.
Yeah, didn't we have beers with breakfast?
Beers
we
with
had
breakfast,
a little full English type thing.
And we got on the train, and you have journey juice,
yeah.
and you get into the city, and I took you to some of the pubs I used to go to when I was at uni, and what my like pre-game ritual. We went and got a burger. Go into the stadium.
Went to Asda, got some
went
mixers.
to Asda.
I didn't have my ID, so I had to leave
have
Asda.
a drink in the street because that's what you do.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, that would have been a great day anyway. But then Wolves went and won 5-0. I can't even remember who was against.
We were in. Were we in the good end?
The South Bank, the fun end, the rowdy end. Because I only ever go to the South Bank. I would rather not go than sit in another one of the because it's just where I have to go. It's where the die-hard season ticket holders go.
Yeah, so we were in. Yeah, that was fun, and then we went to Kathmandu. No, we didn't. Where did we go?
We went to Wagamama's.
Wagamama and had a katsu curry.
Yeah, you've been in Ibiza too long.
And that was the first time I tried to use chopsticks, and I failed, and I got really upset that I couldn't use chopsticks.
Did that in Birmingham. Yeah, we went back to Birmingham.
To Birmingham.
Yep.
We got the train.
Yeah. So yeah, that was just a good day. I miss football so much. It is one of those things that I kind of do hope that when the world gets back to normal again and travel is easy, I do hope that in coming seasons I can get on a flight, because I can fly straight to Birmingham from here, get on a train.
So much easier now.
And I mean, almost to the point where I could go, watch the game, maybe not even have to stay a night and just come back.
You could.
And just literally make like a day of it.
Or get a super cheap hotel. But like it's just...
Not too cheap. I've stayed in a super cheap hotel in Wolverhampton before, and I thought I was going to die.
That was funny.
And never again.
Oh dear. So yeah, that's a good one. I remember the other match and we lost. And then the atmosphere was obviously so different. And we went to that pub and had like a Sunday lunch thing and then just drank anyway because it was sunny.
Yeah.
And that was fun. And then we walked home. I remember.
Football has such an impact on the city because...
We even left the game early, I think.
Well, I never leave like early, but if it's in stoppage time and we're clearly not going to make anything of it, then because then you can get into the pub and you can get the beers in before other people do.
We actually avoided the Wolverhampton pubs. We were like, you made us get right on the train back to Birmingham straight away.
Yeah, probably. Just because it's funny how much collectively thousands of people are going through the same emotion.
Trauma.
Yeah, and you can either be the best day of your life or the worst day of your life, and I do miss that. I'm looking forward to football being back.
We've got football tomorrow.
Yeah, but again, I'll be watching it here, streamed on my laptop.
Well, yeah.
Which is not quite the same.
No, I know. Nice, good questions, Melissa. I like that one. I've got I know we're not going to do our little interval. What are the little songs?
The jingles.
Jingles this week.
No jingles this week.
No jingles this week because I've only got one. Would you rather anyway?
Okay.
It's from Paul Hutchinson. Sangria or beer? Oh, I didn't realise that was going to be so hard.
Well, it is hard because in certain situations, either one of those two is perfect.
And yesterday we did have both.
We did have both yesterday. Generally, beer. Beer is a mass pleaser. Like,
apart from people that don't like beer.
Like, is it sunny outside? Have a beer. Have you just finished a day of work? Have a beer.
It's a
just got out of bed. Have a beer.
It's a non-effort.
Having a curry. Have a beer.
It's a non-effort level.
It's very, very easy, and it's very, very easy to be pleased by. However, in that sort of summery, with your friends, at a nice beach, there is something about a jug of sangria where you're like, ooh, like we had some sangria yesterday.
Yep.
The first sip
was
you are instantly
delicious.
Transformed into holiday mode, happiness, like.
I was ready to get
you're
on it
You're ready
yesterday.
to go. Exactly. You have a mouthful of sangria and you go,
all right.
do I have any plans for the rest of the day? Not anymore.
Yeah.
Let's all get a jug.
Well, yesterday, after we'd done the beach and stuff, I was literally ready to just kind of have a little house party. Obviously,
I got the vibe off of you that you were kind of, because usually you would be the person
I'm really
that's
sensible.
Let's call it. We need to head home. There's the curfew coming in, or we're going to be kicked out anyway, or blah blah. Blah, and I'm watching my diet or my calorie intake. But you weren't that person yesterday. Now, when you're not that person, it's not that you're suddenly the party person, but when you stop being the organizer, sensible Sharon, that means. That to me is as clear an indication as someone having a tie tied around their head doing a knee slide across the beach. That's Tiff's version of I'm ready to get on it. Is that she's no longer being bossy and organised.
Yeah, I was because we just sat there for about.
You were in a happy place.
4 hours in the sun, and I was really happy, and I could have just carried on just drinking all night, gone back to Noel's or back here, listened to music and whatever. But once we'd got back here, because we'd obviously had to do the long walk back here as well, because it was like a hike. We got back here, we cooked dinner, we settled down. I was actually like, oh, okay.
Kind of glad that you didn't.
Because obviously today and the rest of the week, and actually now my diet break starts today, I actually wasn't my calories weren't so horrendous yesterday. So, yeah. But I was in the mood to just carry on.
And that's lovely. But I do think you should. I think you should be more clear.
Well, I just didn't want to force anyone's hand.
But I think more people should be more clear that if you're in a really good mood and you're in that sort of zone, there's nothing worse than feeling the need to be subtle about it. Just go, do you know what, guys? I'm really shall we get another one in? I feel as if I want people to be a bit more like that if that's how they feel. Worst that can happen is that someone goes...
But I felt like I was.
No, you weren't. No, you were... I picked up on it because I'm your husband and I pick up on those little changes in your personality and mood.
So that's just me, I'm bipolar.
Right, exactly. But I think, yeah... I would like people to do that more.
Yeah, I probably could have just been right, Noel, we're coming back to yours, roof party, let's go.
I just wish more people would just say, because I think there's always this kind of weird of, I hope everyone's on the same level and I'm going to drop little hints and hope that it's okay. Just say, I'm in a party mood, shall we do it? And let's do it.
Fair enough, I like it.
So there you go, there's a hint for you.
Nice. Thanks, Paul. Okay, sangria question though.
Okay.
Red, white, carver.
Yes. All of the above. And then on top of that, you shared with me a tequila or a Mexican sangria the other day. You sent me a link or like a... You tagged me.
Oh, that must be Taco Paco in town.
Where the ingredients...
It's white wine and tequila.
White wine, tequila, and like lime juice.
That sounds fucking delicious.
Yeah.
I can't remember that, but it sounds... Oh, I have to run outside very quickly. Do you want to pause or do you want to carry on?
Pause. Quick break with one of our...
With the surprise.
I'm just going to enter one of my little birthday messages right now.
Hey Matt, I'm just dropping in to say happy birthday. I'm sorry I can't be there. It's rubbish. I'm probably not going to make it there this year, which is also rubbish. But next year, Ibiza, 2022. It's so on. I can't wait to see you, man. I hope you have a great day, and I'll speak to you soon. Love you lots.
Happy birthday, Uncle Matt. I really hope you have a good one. And I can't believe it's been 2 and a bit years since we've seen each other, and I can't wait to see you again when this whole COVID nonsense is over. And I just hope you have a really happy birthday. Uncle Matt, bye.
Welcome back. Tifla, would you like to explain...
Yes. Can you grab my phone from over there? Because I've got more questions.
Why you needed to run outside?
I ran outside because I won a competition yesterday. Another one. I'm good at winning.
You
things.
always win Instagram competitions, don't you?
Yeah. But this one was from a cake and patisserie maker person. Whatever. And she is called Pauline Cake Art. And she's made these like real glam Easter eggs that are smashable.
Very glam. And then
they've
it's
got
all like things
on
pour out,
yes.
right?
And so those on the YouTube can see it, and it's got like gold leaf on it right now. And
nice.
It looks amazing. So I won the competition.
So you've just had that delivered.
And I've just had that delivered.
Lovely.
So I'm going to sit that down because cellophane makes a horrendous noise.
It does.
So yeah, I won a competition. So happy Easter, Matt. It's for you.
It's definitely not for me. We'll share it.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll
It looks really
No
yum.
problem sharing that with you, my love.
Yeah, lovely. So yeah, white, red,
Oh yeah.
Do they do rosé sangria?
It's not really a thing, is it?
Thing, is it?
But I reckon you could. I think if you went with a lot of like sweet fruits, like strawberries, raspberries, maybe some mint, that could be quite nice.
Yeah, then you're
not
just
too
getting
much
into
mint.
something else. Yeah.
Well, you're not.
But I do like I like Calabasa Carver or white or Carver from Calabasa.
Okay.
It's lovely. That's
Thing is, the original sangria is red,
yeah.
and there are some really, really good ones.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And like
But what one would you have if you could only have one forevermore?
one sangria forevermore.
One type of sangria forevermore: red, white, or Carver.
White.
Yeah, I'd probably go white.
Which is weird because we don't drink white wine at all. I don't really like white wine, but I think because it's in a sangria, it sweetens it up,
like juice or whatever.
Yeah,
else
and it just makes it. Like I said, sometimes sangria is the perfect drink for the situation, and I'm looking forward to drinking more of it this summer.
Lots more.
I think we need to make our own recipe. We know people that do a good sangria.
We need Gez's recipe. And then
Gezria.
Yeah, and then we need to make our own. I was going to say enhance, but not enhance because his is outstanding.
You can't add to perfection.
The thing is,
I think his includes Fanta.
I think it does, but I think the thing is, each person has their thing. Like Gez has Gezria, Joe has espresso martinis that I gave him the recipe for.
I don't want to say this, but Joe is becoming very well known for his espresso martinis, and you do a very good job of not telling people that his recipe you gave him.
He's probably perfected it.
I'm sure he is. He has enhanced.
So
on
now
yours.
we need to crack on with our yerbas because no one that is not on the island can make yerbas.
You can't. No, yerbas has to be made here.
So therefore, that can be our thing.
Well, I've got most of the ingredients. The thing about making yerbas is it has a lot of wild ingredients because you mix spirits with herbs and like greenery.
Leaves.
Yeah. But some recipes are like 20 different leaves, flowers,
You just make
sticks.
your own version.
You do,
right?
and basically the history of it is that, like, if you go to any family on the Balearic Islands, they've probably got their own recipe. And they've over years perfected it. So
Yes.
some of them will use 10 ingredients, 20 ingredients, 15, whatever. But they will have got theirs perfect. And yeah, I've got most of the ingredients that I want to start making my own. And I'm going to make them this summer. And if I make it sooner rather than later, I'll basically have a
Have it in
batch
time
ready
for-
for July.
Yeah. And when is Katie and they're coming in September?
So yeah, I'll definitely have Bennett's yerbas
Yeah.
by September.
Nice.
Definitely.
We can design a label.
Yeah.
Nice. That's a good one. Hannah, who's parties over 85, I think, on Instagram.
Parties over 85.
That's her name. She asks a question every week. If you could delete a year and repeat a year, so they could be separate years of your life, which one would they be and why?
Do you know, as you said that, my instinct was like, oh, well, surely you just delete 2020. But we achieved a lot in 2020, including moving to Ibiza. So I'm not going to delete that. It's actually been a very important year in my life. I would repeat 2014.
Ah, strong year.
Because it was just a strong year.
I think so many listeners will agree with that.
2014, and you know, on a birthday, you tend to reminisce, you look back at what you've achieved in your life, what you haven't achieved in your life. And so you get to certain points of the day where you go, actually, yeah, I'm a little bit depressed, have I not, whatever. 2014, I feel as if my life peaked and it hasn't got that good again since. That's how good 2014 was.
Cool.
2018 was all right.
Yep.
Because we got married.
Yep.
And Pikes was epic.
Yeah.
But 2014 just was great. I loved it.
Lovely.
It's when we met.
Yep.
Ibiza was
In such a good place.
such a good place.
I think lots of Ibiza people will agree that 2012 and 2014 were great years.
Just a good, solid
Yeah.
year. So I'd definitely repeat that. Not even to change anything if I did it again. I'd just relive it.
Yeah.
There is nothing
Yeah,
I
you
think
can't change things.
I would just want to go, because it was just so good.
What are you
Delete a year?
deleting?
I don't know, you kind of just need to find a meh year, like an average year. But
What about the year, what about 2019?
yeah, maybe. Not really.
Because I was trying to think of your answers, obviously, when these come through.
2019 just wasn't a great year. There was no real highs, but it was a year that I
had a lot
of lows.
really,
I struggled with sort of my mental health in 2019 a bit. But again, it sounds all cliche and stuff like that. But I don't, that year taught me a lot as well. I'm the person I am
This
today.
is a very rhetorical question.
Obvious.
It's not going to happen.
Is it not?
No.
I thought Hannah was going to provide us with some kind of gadget that could make this possible.
But yeah, because obviously whatever happens in a bad year leads you to something that happens the next year. You know, so.
But okay, just looking at it on face value then
Yeah.
of there was a lot of shit that happened that year that would be nice if it didn't happen.
Lovely.
Lovely. What about you? What do you think?
Oh, I didn't think of mine. This was your pod.
You would repeat 2014 though, right? Or do you have a year in your life that peaked?
I don't know. I had less responsibility in 2013 in Magaluf.
Oh yeah, you weren't
I wasn't team leader.
You weren't a leader.
2013 was just hilariously fun.
The best time,
so much fun.
The best times in your life are the times where you have least responsibility, aren't they?
Absolutely.
This is why kids don't appreciate what they've got.
Oh God, okay. Oh, you are old, aren't you now?
Listen, it's my
Fucking
birthday,
hell.
and I am going to be an old man.
You are mid-30s.
The youth is wasted on the young.
Youth. Oh, fuck me. All right. One from Alice.
Alice?
Yes. What have you achieved in your life that you're most proud of?
That's funny you asked that, because I was thinking about, I had a really good Friday on Good Friday.
You had a great Friday.
Good Friday was a good day for me. It was just one of those days where I was just happy. I put a post out on Instagram.
You were so happy. You were deliriously happy. It was sickening at points.
But how nice is that?
Because I was working as well, and I was like, fuck you, you happy man.
That was brought on only by the weather the situation,
Yeah, it was lovely.
the walk that I went on, the music I was listening to while I was on my walk. And it was really nice to have one of those just naturally happy days. Like, it was
really
and I really
nice.
liked it. But while I was sort of in that sort of mood of feeling positive and good about things, I did sort of have like a little bit of an internal conversation with myself of like, you live in Ibiza. This is, and has been for a long time, the ultimate like bucket list life goal.
Yeah.
And for a long time, it was sort of like, I hope I can do that one day. I hope eventually that can happen. And yeah, while I was out on my walk with a big old smile on my face and the sun was out and the town looked great and I was listening to great music and stuff, I was just sort of having that, like, well, you've done it. Be proud. Enjoy this. Soak it in. Look around you. It's really easy once you're in a place to go like, oh, well, what can be better? What can I be improving? What can be... But like, you forget all of those days where this was the dream and sometimes didn't even feel like an achievable dream. It felt like a pipe dream.
Yeah.
But when you look back, it's only looking back at those and going, well, if you could talk to that person then and go, like, you did it, how happy that version of you would have been to go, fuck, I did it. I actually got there. Like, that's something that I had only a couple of days ago. I had one of those moments. But yeah, probably my biggest achievement isn't even necessarily the fact that we moved and lived here. It's the fact that I achieved a goal that actually for a long time I didn't think I ever would. Whatever that goal was.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Good job. And as you joke, you got us here.
Regularly have to remind you of that.
Yes.
Maybe.
You got us here, I keep us here.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically, that's how it works. Lovely. I've got one final question from James Rickards.
James Rickards?
Yeah.
Old school. I didn't even know James listened.
Yeah.
How you doing, James? Good to hear from you.
Other than me and your family, who is another, and members of your family, who is another woman that inspires you?
A woman that inspires
I quite like that.
It's funny, and it's funny that this comes from James as well.
I feel like I know what you're going to say.
Because I've worked alongside James, I've worked with James, so I probably know why he's asking it as well. All of my bosses over the years at Apple have been women. And they've been, like, kick-ass women as well.
That's
You've
like
heard
Tanny and Mags.
Tanny and Mags come to mind particularly. Liz in Birmingham as well. Liz was amazing. Jackie, who I had for a while in Dubai as well. These have all been just absolutely kick-ass women who have taught me so much. I mean, you've heard from one of them on the pod today. She opened the pod, God bless her, with her own way of speaking. But yeah, it's funny because in my whole professional career, I've had women managers and I've never seen it as anything different. And I know there's a lot of like women in business and female empowerment and stuff like that. And it's weird for me because I don't see it as a thing. I don't ever see it as a thing.
But I think that's because Apple is that kind of company that I think from very early on didn't have only a small percentage of female leaders. I think it came in quite quickly.
It's always believed.
I know it started with like all men, but
it's always believed as a company. It's always believed in inclusivity, diversity, and stuff.
Yeah.
But certainly, even at the point when I was leaving, we were doing a lot of talking about not resting on our laurels, and just because we are leading the way on this doesn't mean that we're perfect yet. And so we were doing a lot of talking about we can still be better, we can still do more, we can still be more proactive in these things. But yeah, I think the fact that my entire professional career I had incredible female leaders has just sort of put me in a place where I admire women in general, and I don't see it as anything different. I don't see them in a different light and go, she's good for a woman, or like at all. It doesn't even cross my mind. Like, I actually think the best managers I've ever had have been women.
That makes sense. I think it's hard when people ask that type of question because they're kind of steering it in a way where you have to go,
I have to look at it differently.
You have to, exactly. You have to step away from a manager's a manager and actually. But maybe someone who is...
Here's something controversial. Sorry to interrupt you, but here's something controversial because it's in another light. But can you imagine anybody asking you this? Who is the best black person you've ever worked for?
Yeah.
And like, it'd be like, well, why do I even have to think of them any different?
Why are you asking me that question?
Why have I now got to look at those individuals in a different light and think why they're so great?
That wasn't the question.
No, of course it wasn't. But like, it can lead you down.
It can lead you down that path, and you do have to you step back when someone says something like, "Who's another woman that inspires you?" You then have to go, oh, hold on, this isn't just someone that inspires me. Yeah. It has to be a woman that inspires me. So why can't it just be someone that inspires me? Yeah, I get that. And James, it's not a bad question.
It's a great question.
We're now just kind of expanding on that whole thing, which is a whole other ballpark.
Yeah. Which is not what this pod's about.
No. Do you know what? Talking of stuff like that, there's a Instagram, Twitter account that's called Shit You Should Care About.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so good. So please go and I share their stuff all the time. Go and follow it. It's really, really good. And they joke about things like, a boat getting stuck.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
Yeah.
Really funny.
But I do think it's a funny way of looking at things. And maybe does show where we're still at. That like someone like Michelle Obama is seen as this incredible, inspiring woman because she is. But she should just be seen as an incredible, inspiring person.
Yes, I get that.
She is equally as inspiring as her husband.
But you know what? The pay gap is still there. All of this, that and the other. So I guess that's why, International Women's Day is still a thing.
And quite right, and it should be. And as I say...
but when's International Men's Day?
Well, every day is International Men's Day. But it's like I say, at Apple, which is often seen as a company that leads the way on this sort of thing, they didn't go, well, we're number one, so we don't need to focus on this.
Yeah.
It was one of the things we were focusing on all the way up until the point where I left, where we were as leaders were literally being trained and taught how to continue to change our thinking so that we weren't pigeonholing people and thinking of them in certain ways. It was just... a human is a human. It really doesn't matter what they look like, speak like, believe in. A human is a human.
Yeah.
And you take them at what value they bring, regardless.
Yeah.
And a lot of places in the world still have a lot of work to do on that. But
for sure.
But I to go back to the question, I feel very lucky and fortunate that I happen to have been led and managed by very, very powerful, influential and awesome women.
Yeah, I think that's what was different about like when I worked at Wicked, and because it is kind of a masculine field, obviously we built like
construction.
Yeah, we built structures and marquees and shading and like actual big old structures for like expo and stuff like that. Like it's seen as a masculine thing. And so you have these project managers who are the people that are out on site leading the team, and you get the guys, and then there's a couple of girl PMs who are there and just bossing it, and just like, but people, especially obviously in the Arab world,
where they've got a lot of work to do,
and they are white British women, and they're just like smashing it out of the park, and and they have to work twice as hard to be half as recognised, and it's just it's weird. And obviously then Julie, who was like the managing director of the company or whatever job role she's in, sorry if I got that wrong for anyone listening that knows, she was the woman, and then there was kind of two guys that were on the same level on the board and stuff, and it's just like, she had to fight for everything she had. Yeah. And she was so ironic. She had a pink hard hat for when she was out on site, and a pink high vis, and I think she just made a funny point of it. She's like, I'm a woman,
and
but I'll shit all over you.
And
so fuck off.
Do you know what? It used to be one of my most favourite things at Apple, particularly working in the Middle East, where, dealing with the sorts of people I would have to deal with, when somebody of that kind of nature would go, I want to talk to your manager now. And it was like Mags. And I'd go, no problem, I'm going to go and get you my manager. And small Irish lady walks out.
Small Irish white lady walks out.
Who is rock hard and would absolutely destroy anyone.
But can only drink a Bacardi Breezer.
Absolutely. In some ways, she's got a lot of work to do. But yeah, and sometimes they'd be like, actually, no, I'd still prefer to talk to you then because I'm a tall,
change their mind,
white
wouldn't they?
male. And you're like, well, no, this lady is more powerful in this company than I am, and you don't like what you're hearing from me. So yeah, you can talk to my manager. And it was
funny,
again,
right?
it's very, very empowering though, because you're working for a company that has got your back entirely in that. Any escalations, complaints, whatever, could go as far as Tim Cook, CEO. It stops there, and he would have everyone's back because it's like, well, that's what our company believes in.
Yeah, of course.
And it's something very empowering about that. It's kind of like in the case of Julie, of just being like, I'm the boss. I know I'm the boss. You might not like it.
Still wearing a pink hard hat.
And yeah.
I loved it. I'm pretty sure she got these like steel toe caps that were like a silly colour as well.
Why not?
It's just funny. Yeah, I love it. That's such a good question.
You shouldn't have to become more male in order to be in those roles.
Yeah,
so
exactly. But it was just being in that kind of world where like it's all forklifts and cranes and like
manual labour.
Yeah,
sweat.
it's funny. Yeah. And obviously when I went out to Saudi and did the job, like that job out there, I saw a lot more of it. And like Julie brought me out as probably one of the only. Were we the only women? Like, yeah, there was me, her, and then one of the girls who was from Brazil, who was part of the bigger, wider team for GL. Yeah, we were just kind of these like women bosses who were just like smashing it.
Well,
It was so much fun.
I think you're one of those types of women. I think you are an absolute sort of like kick-ass. People follow you. People believe in what you say. I think you'd be a great boss.
Thank you. People have said that once or twice.
Well, you
Unless
are.
it was like family. Don't ever be a boss of your family.
Well, yeah, true. Never work with kids or animals. Apparently.
Yeah, something like that.
And yet on this podcast, I have to work with both.
That's the end of my questions.
Okay, good.
How do you feel about today's pod?
I've enjoyed it. Do you know what? Considering it's my birthday, I haven't drank as fast as I usually
It's
would.
because you've been talking loads.
I have. Well, yeah, I guess that's what happens when it's...
So you'll have to finish that off cam.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, thank you to everybody who sent questions for Matt's birthday. Very much looking forward to next week's.
Yeah, send me through stuff that you want to... We'll do it the other way around next week.
Nice.
Things for me to ask Tiff, talk to Tiff about, send them through to me ASAP. Don't wait for me to come out to you. Just send them through.
And I guess we'll see you next week then.
Remember your emoji.
All right then. Bye.
Happy Easter!